about. So the first is from Alison Ashcroft, Managing Director, Canadian Urban Sustainability Practitioners. And it's about infrastructure in marginalized communities. Allison is asking, how will the funding to flow post-COVID, whether regular or stimulus, ensure that climate change and inequality are not just modeled or referred to, but centered in all project proposals to ensure all projects are shovel-worthy and will achieve as much beneficial impact as possible, and no additional burdens to marginalized communities? How will this funding be targeted at addressing historic harms, not just the most recent hardships experienced?
So that is an excellent question. So this gets back to the idea that we need our dollars, there are limited taxpayer dollars to do double, triple duty. So it's not just getting jobs and doing your regular, construction projects, which aren't bad, but we need to be doing a lot more and being a lot more thoughtful. So that's why the climate lens is very important. Even through the projects we're prioritizing through the COVID stream, looking at natural infrastructure, looking at active transportation, that we have a requirement for community benefit agreements, which I think are really important, making sure that you are looking at who the suppliers are. Are you ensuring there's diversity? But the area I think we have work to do, and I'm always in the better is possible camp, is making sure we now look at social determinants of infrastructure. So of course on Indigenous communities that has been a large focus, but I think there's a broader focus. I've talked to Armin, and I can never get her last name right. She's an amazing economist. We've talked about this. I've talked with a number of other economists. We're doing work with our chief statistician. I think we need better data about where money is being spent, because just I think about my community. We're so lucky. I actually feel like if I fail as a parent, we've got our community center. My kids go there, they work there, but not every community has that, and that is really unfortunate. So it's not just when you have a project making sure that there's diversity in suppliers and the workers. It's also where are you building, and we all know about the infrastructure deficits still within Indigenous communities. That we still don't have clean drinking water. We're working extremely hard, Minister Miller, Minister Bennett, on getting clean drinking water for all communities. We don't have that. Affordable housing, we still have substandard housing, and we need to deal, I think that's actually come to the forefront in COVID, the vulnerable populations. So we still have work to do, and that's something that I take very seriously. I don't know that there has been, just so the way the program's designed, focused on municipalities and provinces giving us lists. I think that we have to do better in terms of that piece. So as we go forward with new programs, existing programs, I think we really need to do exactly as your questioner said. I think we need to really step back and say, are we getting all these other outcomes? Are we making sure that we're building for a more sustainable, more resilient future? Are we making sure those investments are being spread equally so that every child has an opportunity, or community has an opportunity to succeed? And I'll be honest, we have more work to do. And Greg Fergus, I don't know if folks know him, he's the head of the Black Caucus, is coming over later tonight. So when I finish this, I'm going to be hanging out with Greg Fergus. He's pushed very hard. In fact, there's a letter he published today that a number of us have signed. I've signed it as well, with calls for what we need to do to tackle systemic racism. So we're going to have that discussion. Also, Nate Bahar, because there's someone who's great. Just a plug. Nate Bahar is an Ottawa Red Black player. He wrote a great piece to pimp a movement. He's also coming over tonight because I want to hear. I think we need to listen to different folks and different perspectives. And so, yeah. So anyway, a lot more to do in that regard. So, and if anyone has expertise in this area, I think that we could use some more expertise on the climate. We have lots of great people, including, I'm sure, many people, but I think thinking of the social determinants of infrastructure also critically important.